Hello everybody. My group is giving a demonstration this week on how to use the website Wix, wix.com. Wix is a website development site or app, basically, where you can create professional portfolios, personal websites. If you had a store, you could actually create um, a online store to sell merchandise that you might have created or whatever, conduct business. You can use it as a blog. I've personally used Wix as a portfolio for my master's degree. That's what I've used to create my online portfolio, and I can update it with new assignments. Before I get started in showing you how to use Wix, I just want to talk a little bit about the templates and things and some of the functionality of it and the strengths and weaknesses. So here's a screenshot I took of a couple of the templates that you have, and there's a lot of them. I just captured a few here, and as we go through, you'll see that when you're trying to create different things, different sites, you have different options available to you. And once you get your template going, it's pretty easy to fill it in, kind of move things around, and get moving. Here's a screenshot of my actual portfolio. So Wix will allow you to communicate with the entire world, and it's really cool because you can actually update it from your phone, a tablet, your computer. It's a very, very user-friendly, and it just has a lot of really, really good benefits to the user. The weaknesses, so Wix is a great tool, but it does have some shortcomings. So for someone who's never built a website, it can be very intimidating. When I first opened it up and started to look at it, I was kind of intimidated by the program. As I really got into it, it became fun. But if you don't have a lot of experience with technology, it can be kind of an intimidating thing to look at Wix. It's very time consuming to do a Wix site very well and make it look good. It's going to be a time consuming project, so you're going to cost you a lot of man hours, a lot of time, and that could be a weakness. And then it's also kind of, you have to pay really close attention to detail sometimes, and you'll see as we get into it, as you're moving buttons around, dragging, dropping things, trying to maneuver around the screen, it can be easy to make a minor mistake that can kind of mess up your formatting. So you really have to pay close attention to detail, and this can be one of the weaknesses, is that if you make a mistake, it's going to cost you, again, more time because you're going to have to go back and backtrack and redo some things that you've already done. Now let's look at the site. So you see, here's my site. And in order to have a Wix account, all you really need is an email. And it's pretty easy to get started once you go onto wix.com. So you just go to www.wix.com. Now I'm already logged in right here. But just so you guys can see, I will go back, see if we can start over. www.wix.com. Create a new site. So again, there's a lot of different types of templates, and you'll see up here the functionality I need a site for, and so it can even offer you a little assistance when you're looking. If you would like to do business, small business, shop, stores, online store, you might be a photographer trying to set up your portfolio and advertise online for your photography business. Musicians can use Wix. You've got designers, restaurants can put their menus out and everything online. Accommodations, again, all these different things. What we are more using it for here, what I used it, personally using it for, was a portfolio or a resume. Um, and again, you could create a blog or any of that stuff on Wix. I'm going to do another portfolio. That's what I was doing last. I think the functionality is fairly similar to all the other things, but they offer slightly different templates. So creating an online resume, and you just click get started, and it's going to kind of just walk you through the process. So over here are the templates that I can use, and there's quite a few of them. You see there's pages upon pages of templates to use for your Wix site. So I'm just going to click on this one right here. We'll view that. And you see this gentleman here, Kevin Walker, entrepreneur, created a nice site here. Now, if I wanted to edit this site, so I'm using this template as a starting point, and it's going to open up yet another tab for me. And while we're waiting for this to load, I'll just go ahead and talk about, so the applicability of Wix. It can be used to develop websites for teachers, school students, many other people can create web pages. And as a physical education teacher, I find that it's helpful to have Wix for, I would personally like to load a bunch of videos, instructional videos of the exercises which I teach my students, and put brief talking points explaining the technique, how to stay safe, how to prevent injuries, how to stay healthy and fit. And I could use it as a communication with parents, and maybe even do some videos for individual classroom teachers that they could play for the students if they needed a brain break or something like that. Wix is a great program to do that, and I can update it as I go. I can update it from my phone. I can update it wherever I am to make sure that it's current and it's moving along with what I'm teaching the students year to year. So I think in the future, that's what I'm going to use Wix for. As a classroom teacher, you could obviously place assignments you're working on with your students. You could put all kinds of things into a Wix site to make it very, just to help with your communication. Maybe you can ask your educational technologist at your school to put a link to your personal Wix page on the school website, or you can send it out in a newsletter to your parents, and then they can kind of keep in touch with what's going on with their students. Other professions, obviously, it's a great way just to communicate with colleagues, communicate with clients, with whoever you are working with. So I really do enjoy working with Wix, and I plan on using it in the future as an educator. So you'll see right here in the template there's an image. Obviously, I'd want to change that image. You could even just go right here, you right click on this, and you can crop the image. You can just delete it altogether and add an image later if you'd like. So right now I'm just going to delete this guy's image, and now I don't have anything over here. So if I wanted to add an image of myself, add a picture, I'm going to go ahead and click add. And there are a lot of options. It's really cool, all the stuff that I can do in Wix. I can add text, I can add an image, and you see all I have to do is go over here, click image, my image uploads, do a whole gallery of pictures, You can add slideshows, buttons. And the buttons are cool because they actually have functionality to them. So when you put a button, you can have that button as a link to another website. You can have that button as, if it was a business, that button could be a buy now type button where it's going to make a sale for you. There's a lot of really cool functionality with those buttons. You can add a box, and inside the boxes then you put text, and the boxes really just dress up your Wix site. We'll see some of that in a second. You can add video, and one of the cool ways to do that is you can just put a YouTube video straight into the Wix site. You can put music, you can put social media links, all kinds of stuff in here. So, but right now we're just going to go ahead and add an image. And I'll go to my image uploads. And it already has these pictures that I've put into the upload box from my other website that I worked on. If I did not have anything loaded, then all I would do is just go click right here where it says upload images, and I could pull a new picture on here. Since I already have these here though, I'm just going to click on this picture right here, click add to page. Once I get the picture on, I can maneuver it around, and sometimes you got to be a little careful because it's not always extremely responsive. So if you start dragging it too much, too far, you can drag it outside of these lines. That starts to mess with your formatting a little bit. But I need to make this picture a little bit smaller anyway. So you can see right here, now it should fit in that corner. And if I was really going to use this as my startup picture on a home page for a professional website, probably make it a little bit smaller, and I probably obviously would not have a picture of me sitting inside of a parachute as my professional portfolio picture, but it's kind of fun to use for right now, at least not on my home page. And you'll see as I click around, each of these are separate boxes. So in this box right here, they've created this box, and then inside the box is text, is words. So obviously my name is not Kevin Walker, so I'm going to highlight that, and then I'll just type right over it, Darren Seamster. And I want to give a little bit of information about me, so I might say the most amazing phys ed teacher ever. And nice little job title there. Okay, always fun to use a little humor in these presentations, right? I don't want you guys to be too bored listening to me talk. So anyway, now that we have that done, we have a start to a Wix page, start to a portfolio or website. And down here, these, like I said, are all separate boxes. You can create square boxes. You can have these circle shapes right here, but I can change the design if I'd like. So you click on change the design, and I can do a different shape if I would like. The one thing I will say is as you go through and create different pages, you kind of want to be consistent throughout the whole thing. And if you click on these boxes here, you will see where you can just type in new words. And where it says I'm a paragraph, that is actually a selection that you can choose. So you just click on that, highlight the whole thing, and you can start typing as you see here. And you can change the font, you can change the font color. All of that is customizable. All right. So, and you see all the different things. I mean, Wix, there's a lot that you are able to do with a Wix site, which is kind of cool. So here would be the home page. If you needed to undo something, let's say I made a mistake, type something wrong, you can just click undo just like you could in Microsoft Word. And if you wanted to put it back, you could click on redo. Now, pages. If I wanted to add a second page, I just go there, add a page, and I can call this interesting facts. Say I wanted to put interesting facts about myself on a second page. So right there, I'm done. Now I can click here, click on the interesting facts page, and I have this blank page to work with right here. I add a button on this page. And let's say I wanted my button to link to my home page. I'm just going to click there. Done. And now when I preview, if I click on that button, it brings me right back to the home page. So that's a very simple overview of Wix. I mean, there are obviously a lot more things that you can do with this website. Again, I feel that it's a great tool for an educator or for anyone really who is in any kind of profession and just wants to get some information out about what you do and why people should use your business, or why, you know, or if you're just trying to communicate information to people, or if you just wanted to create a really cool personal blog, personal website, just to kind of, you know, share your thoughts and feelings with the world. Some people just want to do that. There are a lot of awesome reasons why you would want to use a Wix site. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope I've inspired you to go out and use Wix in the future, and have a great day.